Yeah.
Yesterday, around noon Central Time, I turned my TV over to Fox to watch Nebraska and Illinois, just like I'm sure so many of you guys did as well. And you know, guys, when I turned my TV over to that and I started watching the pregame and, of course, watched the entirety of that game, I couldn't help but smile. Maybe even shed a bit of a tear. Not ashamed to say that, because in that moment, I realized that college football was back. College football is back, guys. College football is back after a wild 2020 season, a wild year of 2020. College football is back now in 2021. It is back to normal. So getting to watch that game, guys, getting to watch that first game of 2021 where it was normal, a Big Ten conference game, seeing fans in the stands, way more fans than we ever saw last year. It was a surreal moment. It was a surreal moment. It was a happy moment. It's a joyous occasion. We got to see a great football game on top of that. And guys, the beauty of it is, that was just a teaser. We only got to watch a handful of college football games on Saturday in week 0. We're about to recap some of the highlights. But next week, in week 1, that's where it really gets real. That's where it's going to get fun. That's where the big dogs come out. The big games come out. That's when the season really gets underway. And of course, we're going to have analysis for that coming up starting tomorrow. And of course, carrying you all the way through this college football season. So guys, welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. About to break down pretty much the two big games from week 0. Illinois, Nebraska, UCLA, Hawaii. We'll touch on those briefly. Before we get started, as always, make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe. Again, that was just week 0. It was a teaser. The season's really about to gear up right now, and that same goes for us here at this channel. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to check out everything down in the description below. Especially go sign up for those expert picks, guys. Go sign up for those today, because I'm telling you, our week 1 picks are going to come out on Wednesday. We're going to have 10 games, spread pick-wise, coming out on Wednesday. The NFL picks are going to come out the week after. So we've got so much additional content for you down on our website, thegridironexpert.com, down in the description. Check it out. Sign up for those today so you don't miss out on any of those. As we always say, help us help you. I promise you, you're not going to regret it. So make sure to go give all that a look. So let's take a look at week 0. Again, there's not that much to talk about. There were not that many big games. Nebraska-Illinois was the biggest game of the day, without a doubt. It was the biggest game of the day. A Big Ten conference game. Nebraska desperate to get a win. Illinois beginning the Brett Bielema era in Champaign. So we're going to break this game down, this brief analysis, into 2 parts. We're going to give you the Nebraska analysis, and then we're going to give you the Illinois analysis. How's that sound? Well, let's go ahead and start with Nebraska. Let's start with the negative here. And the road team, which we always give preference to. We'll own up to it. We will, right here on the channel, go out and say, yes, we missed this pick. We missed out on Nebraska. We had a lot more faith in Nebraska when we probably shouldn't have. Had a lot more faith in Scott Frost in Nebraska and the consistency in coaching, consistency in players, going up against an Illinois team that was dealing with a new head coach, and maybe not as much consistency there despite a decent amount of returning talent. So we had more faith in Nebraska than we should have, and they let us down, and they let down all the Cornhusker fans out there, because this was one of the worst performances I've seen in a long, long time from Nebraska. And I will tell you right now that Scott Frost is gone. Scott Frost will not be the head coach of the Nebraska Cornhuskers by the time the season ends. Nebraska may give him until season's end when they lose to Iowa, because, guys, they still have yet to play Oklahoma, Ohio State, Wisconsin, and Iowa. Nebraska will not be any of them. Scott Frost is 12-21 overall, so if you tack on those 4 losses to the one against Illinois, that's 5 losses already, and we know they're going to slip up somewhere else. Minnesota, Michigan, Northwestern, Michigan State, whoever it may be, Nebraska will lose, and they will fail to go to a bowl game, which we didn't have them going to anyways. We had the Cornhuskers at 5-7, and they might be getting worse. They might be worse than that. It's hard to believe, guys. Again, Scott Frost, 12-21 overall in his few years in Lincoln, guys. We weren't expecting anything big from Nebraska, but usually when you get to coaches in year 3 or year 4, you expect to see progress. You don't expect to see your team regress, go in the other direction. Well, that's what we saw from Nebraska. That's what we're continuing to see. I mean, from start to finish, guys, this was an abysmal performance. You had the Cam Taylor-Britt safety, whatever the heck that was. I don't know whatever happened to the rule where you put your heels on the 10-yard line, the ball goes over your head, you don't even try to touch it, but he fields it pretty much at the 1, about the goal line, gets wrapped up and decides to chunk it forward. Obviously, an illegal forward pass in the end zone. It's a safety. So Illinois, the first score of the 2021 college football season was a safety, 2-0 in favor of the Fighting Illini. Wild, right? I mean, what else would you expect after the year we had last year? What a great way to kick off 2021. So you add that on top of it. You add on the abysmal end to the first half where Nebraska recovered an Illinois fumble. They're looking to go down there, maybe get a field goal or a touchdown to conclude the first half. But instead, the Fighting Illini get a touchdown because Adrian Martinez has no pocket awareness. He has no pocket awareness. Strip sack. Illinois scoops it up, goes the other way. It's 16-9 at halftime. They get that touchdown. Add on top of that, Nebraska gets the ball back with a little under a minute left, and Adrian Martinez takes a sack to end the first half, a sack that was not necessary at all. The Cornhuskers should have licked their wounds, taken a knee, walked out of there, gone into halftime down 7. But Adrian Martinez got one extra hit. Why, if you're Scott Frost, why even risk that? Did we really think Adrian Martinez would chunk the ball 60, 65 yards through the air for a Hail Mary? No, absolutely not. Martinez has not shown much improvement at all. 232 yards through the air and a touchdown last night, 111 rushing yards and 1 touchdown as well on the ground. He tried to single-handedly carry the Cornhuskers back, but it was a little too late because Nebraska put themselves in a 21-point deficit early on, 30-9 in the third quarter. It was a bad game for the Cornhuskers. Tack on 2 missed extra points in there, sloppy handling there, sloppy special teams play across the board, and you can't help but wonder what the heck is going on in Lincoln. What is happening at Nebraska? How do you continuously get worse? How do you not show any signs of improvement? And again, guys, they've yet to face Oklahoma, Ohio State, Wisconsin, and Iowa. That's just 4 big games. Nebraska is not looking very good at all, guys. A bowl game does not seem to be in their sights. Scott Frost's tenure in Lincoln is done. And this was the nail in the coffin. A loss to Illinois, bad enough, but the way they lost to Illinois, the way they looked in the game to Illinois, that was pitiful. And he's gone. Going on to a positive side, though, how about the Fighting Illini? Don't take anything away from what Illinois and Brett Bielema did. Let's keep in mind that Illinois, first off, was fantastic defensively. I thought they played a phenomenal defense in this game against Nebraska. Did a great job of pressuring Adrian Martinez. Yes, he busted out a few big runs here and there, but for the most part, kept him in check. Forced him out of the pocket. Again, no pocket awareness, and when they did, he couldn't make a good throw. Tons of missed throws for wide open receivers. Can't help but wonder if that would have made a difference in the game. But Illinois' defense was phenomenal here, and they won this game with a backup quarterback. Brandon Peters, their starter, went down early. Injury to his non-throwing shoulder. So who comes in? Artur Sitkowski, the former quarterback at Rutgers, who had, 8 touchdowns and 20 interceptions during his time with the Scarlet Knights? Abysmal stats. He comes in and goes 12 for 15 with 124 yards and 2 touchdowns. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So all the credit in the world to Illinois for fighting against adversity. They were not favored in this game. They were not expected to win this game. They then had to deal with a backup quarterback. And yet Brett Bielema's balanced attack of that run-first offense, which is what he wants to do, and then obviously the Artur Sitkowski passing attack that no one saw coming, worked out brilliantly against Nebraska defense that we had very high expectations for and did not play very well at all. They were very, very balanced. They were very, very impressive. And these are 2 teams right now that are trending in opposite directions. I'm not saying that Illinois is a true contender in the West, but they're going to probably be better than we expected. And they might flirt with bowl eligibility in Brett Bielema's first year. So all the credit in the world to the Fighting Illini. Unbelievable job for them. Again, we missed that pick. We own up to it. Nebraska trending down. No, Illinois certainly trending up. Great way to kick off the season, guys. The Fighting Illini winning 30-22. The other big game, if you want to call it that, was around 2:30 Central Time. That was when UCLA took on Hawaii, and that game was over in the first 9 minutes. UCLA jumped out to a 17-0 lead less than 9 minutes into the game, and it was over at that point. Their defense, those first few drives, the Bruins' defense against Hawaii was unbelievable. They're batting every single ball down. Hawaii, a pass-happy offense, couldn't get anything going. And UCLA, guys, a lot of people have them pegged as a Pac-12 South title contender, a dark horse in the conference. They looked the part on Saturday. And again, it was just Hawaii. We'll really see what Chip Kelly's squad is made of next week when they play LSU at the Rose Bowl. But the Bruins had 244 rushing yards. They held Hawaii to 26 rushing yards, again, led by 28 points at halftime. And kudos to Zach Charbonnet. Wow, what a game for him. The transfer running back from Michigan comes in, and on just 6 carries, he carried the ball 6 times, put up 106 yards and 3 touchdowns. Half of his carries resulted in touchdowns. It's pretty dang good. UCLA's defense looked the part. Their offense looked the part. Dorian Thompson-Robinson still needs to work a little bit on his accuracy and decision-making, but again, he didn't have to do too much with the ground game. Hawaii's defense, especially against the run, we knew was bad. We just didn't think it would be this bad. UCLA wins by 34, and next week against LSU, that matchup looking a lot more intriguing and could be a lot closer than maybe we all thought just a few weeks ago. Watch out for that game, a very underrated matchup next Saturday night out in Pasadena. So those were the two big ones, guys. Illinois getting a big win, UCLA getting a statement win. Again, maybe it's just against Hawaii. Obviously, it wasn't against a big Power 5 ranked opponent or anything, but they looked good. If they play like that against LSU, if they play like that against their Pac-12 opponents, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in 2021. The remainder of the games, Fresno State taking down UConn 45-0. The Huskies have not played a game since 2019, and 2021 did not open up very well for them, but we didn't expect that. Kalen DeBoer's offense for the Bulldogs looking fantastic out at Fresno State. UTEP in the Battle of I-10 taking down New Mexico State 30-3, a big win for the Miners. We expected them to win that game, but not by 27. So Dana DeMel doing a great job with UTEP there. Big win over the Aggies. And then San Jose State, the reigning Mountain West Conference champions. They defeated Southern Utah 45-14 behind 394 passing yards and 4 touchdowns from Nick Starkel. Nick Starkel, a guy who he never really found his groove at Texas A&M, never found his groove at Arkansas, but he has found his groove at San Jose State. And this is a team that absolutely is a Mountain West title contender in 2021. Yes, it was just against Southern Utah, but they looked the part. Starkel looked the part. The Spartans are going to be a force to be reckoned with, not just in the Mountain West, but nationally. They take on USC next week. Do not miss out on that game. That could be a trendy upset pick and a scary good game for the Trojans. So there you have it, guys. A brief Week 0 recap. Nothing much to report there. Nothing crazy to report there. Obviously, Illinois over Nebraska. That was the biggest storyline. That was the biggest game of the week, and it didn't disappoint. It did not disappoint. But now the fun's really beginning, guys. Week 1 starts now. We have videos coming your way all week, getting prepped for some of the big games. Clemson, Georgia, Alabama, Miami, Texas, Louisiana. Obviously, we have the LSU-UCLA game. We've got games on Sunday with Notre Dame and Florida State. Monday with Louisville and Ole Miss. We've got so many big marquee matchups coming your way this week. We're here to cover all of it, so do not miss out. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the content we have coming your way this season. And the same goes for signing up for those expert picks over on our website, thegridironexpert.com. The link for that down in the description below. If you don't sign up for it, you truly are missing out. You're truly missing out. And I know all of our guys that have been with us for the last few years can certainly attest to that. So make sure to go sign up today so you get all of our picks that come out on Wednesday. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you next time right here on The Gridiron Expert.